Recording on. Okay, hello, hello. Today I have a beautiful guest with me. She's the wife of one of my participants in Empower. And I really wanted to bring her on because he went through the program, and it was a beautiful transformation that I saw within him. He was very excited by the whole program himself, and he felt really great after. And I'm always astounded at the end of doing the program with different men, how incredibly effective it has become, and how it's changed their life in so many ways. So I talked to his wife, and she said, "Oh, to come on," and and she was involved in many ways. So this is Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hi, nice to meet, nice to meet everyone who's listening in. But as
Hmm.
you and I know, we're connected. We've already known each other, so
Yeah,
nothing too new.
yeah. No, we did know each other before, which is really awesome. And so you have been you're not married, but you've engaged for a while, right?
Yeah, we've been engaged since 2020, so it's been about 5 years at this point.
Nice, nice. And so, okay, so let's get into some questions, and because I love the audience to hear, I love my subscribers to hear about your experience with your husband going through the Empower program. Okay, so let's just start a little bit before what your relationship was like before. So your relationship and intimate life before your partner joined M program. What was happening there?
Oh, I mean, generally very happy. Nothing really of concern. Just that we both really passionate people, and we tend to funnel that passion into our careers. um, and so, though we're like very connected, we also have like these moments where I think we're just so highly focused on like things outside of the relationship. So
Hmm.
yeah, so before the program, I would say we were definitely connected, but there was just kind of something lacking. And
Hmm.
yeah, I was always hoping that there would be like more intimacy, like deeper connection.
You saw me advertising about Empower first, and what did you think, and how did you move forward in that?
Well, I had been watching like little things that you posted from time to time. I don't know, you come across my feed sometimes and I'm like, she's the woman that helps people with their sex lives. I mean, that's just how I see you. And you started putting out information about like masculine healing and helping men rise into their power and their confidence. And that actually caught my eye because I felt like I worked on a lot of those type of things, like the feminine energy, the healing my wounds, and so forth, for so long that with my guy, I noticed he felt like he seemed a little disconnected from his primal masculine instincts. He would second guess himself, things like that. So when I saw your postings, I thought, wow, this might really benefit him, not just in the realm of us, but like outside of our relationship.
Hmm. So you suggested it to him, that's right?
Yeah, I saw it and then I sat on it for just a little while because I was like, there was no rush to share it with him. But then when I kept seeing you post about it, I told him, hey, you might want to do this program because from what he was telling me, he was feeling insecure about like taking steps in his business and not knowing if he was making the right choices. And I thought, well, if you work on the masculine side of yourself, you'll probably blossom into a man that is really certain in where he's going and making choices with confidence. So I just proposed it to him that way because frankly, that's what I saw for him in the program. It was
Hmm.
actually less about us and more about him.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, nice. And so what was his reaction?
He was,
initially?
yeah, initially I told him about it briefly, and then he said, "Oh, that sounds great." And then I sent him the link, and then he looked at it, and he was a little confused about a couple of things, because we hadn't talked in depth yet about like what I saw in the program for him. So then we had like more of a conversation. I think we were in bed or something like that. And I just told him, like, look at what she's talking about on the sales page. These are the things that you have wanted to strengthen within yourself. You've wanted to have confidence. You wanted to feel more assertive. Like you've literally been telling me all these things that you want to cultivate in yourself, and this program provides it. And yes, it's also like this sexual empowerment program, but I try to bridge the gap for him to see how they were both related to each other.
Hmm. 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 Well, were you feeling that there was did you at that point feel like desired and seen and emotionally connected at that time with him?
Yeah, I mean, I've always felt desired. I've always felt seen, and but I think there was still like a level of depth that I didn't think we were really locking into, which I knew was possible for us. He is like the most, you know him at this point. He's just like the kindest man alive. He has such a loving heart, and he always wants to please me. Honestly, Leanna, like in some ways, I felt like your program, I was like, he is already pretty masculine in a lot of ways. Like he is a provider, he is always making sure I'm okay. But with the aspect of like his own personal security and feeling whole inside, feeling like concretely powerful in the world, he wasn't feeling that. And that's where I saw your program being something that would help him.
Wow, that's very expanded of you to see that and to suggest it as well. I remember him saying that if you had not suggested, he would never have known that this kind of program even existed. But
Mm-hmm.
it was when I first talked to him, he was very excited, which was due to you and offering, giving him an option of somewhere that he could explore these aspects that he was missing out on, or he was not feeling like he had really stepped into them himself.
Yeah, and
So, yeah,
I will say one last thing to this point is
yeah,
that when he made the decision to join, like he internally had to process that. He
hmm
he he had to come. I wasn't forcing it on him at all.
yeah,
But he needed some time, like I think it was like between 3 and 7 days to kind of noodle on it and feel
hmm
into it until he made the conscious choice, assertive choice on his own without me around to go and put the payment with you and all of that. I didn't bring it up at all after
hmm
the initial like push of like check it out. And
yeah,
I think this is huge because one, I don't feel good pushing anything on anyone. That's not my place. But
yeah,
two, it's also him taking the step for himself.
absolutely, absolutely. He has to feel empowered and ready, and that's the type of client I really want is somebody who spends some time internalizing the information that I put out there and it's like something here that really sits well with me and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. And that's kind of how I felt when I had talked to him and he had approached me. That's the kind of energy he came in with. So yeah, he definitely had spent some time thinking about what he wanted to do and he was ready. So this was awesome. Did you see like so he joined the program, he came in. Did you see and notice any immediate shifts that were happening with him or in your relationship?
Yeah. I mean, even the first like session or two, you did something around, you did magic because created you created a space where he didn't feel embarrassed or having shame around talking about maybe like sexual experiences or his wounding around that, whatever. And I think him just sharing and feeling like he could share with you and the other participants, he he then with me was less embarrassed, which was like what I've always seen with him. He's had always been a little bit like hiding his desire or trying to like numb down sexual like instincts and things like that. But after just like a session or two with you, it was like he was opening up. He was not only talking about these things, but he was like approaching me differently with affection and touch and things like that. So that was pretty quick.
Exciting. I love that. Um, so did you, so these are, I guess these are like little surprises that you felt at the time. And so now that he went through the program and, did you see changes happen throughout the program with him and anything that might have stood out for you within that period of time?
Definitely a lot of things were shifting with him throughout. He was really giving it his all. He would do the
Mm.
exercises that you showed him, the breathing exercises, the mantra type of like primal grounding techniques. And when he would, so from the beginning until like the end, there was a lot of changes because he was getting more in touch with his body. And he even says like he's so sensitive to energy now, like he can just, because he's so aware of his environment and how it's interacting with his body and his internal things that he just wasn't before. He was moving in that direction, but he hadn't like really grounded into his body. And so like I noticed even with me, he was way more comfortable with emotions, his emotions, my emotions. He understood that, like, as a woman, I go through like this crazy roller coaster. And like, it's not something to be scared of. It's not something where if I'm angry, it doesn't mean I'm like leaving him. It just means, hold space. And so he was much more, I would say for the anger thing, right? Being a more aware of emotions and being able to handle mine. When I would have moments of anger, he wouldn't try to fix it anymore. He wouldn't try to like to change the topic or make it better. He would just let me express, and then that would help us get closer because I felt more seen and understood.
Right. So you were starting to feel more seen and understood throughout the process. Were there other things that were coming up for you that you felt you could step into deeper or you could feel deeper within yourself?
Yeah, and this is so funny because lately I've noticed it a lot actually. I'm way more playful with him, like a lot more playful. A lot more. Like because I don't feel like there's anything really between us anymore. Like this, how
Mm.
there used to be a little gap. Now he brings it to me as hard as I bring it to him. Like he's as playful as ever. And I'm like, who is this person lately? But he's so relaxed in himself that it's just spontaneously he's just more joyful. And I because of that I feel like we both can see each other more clearly.
That's really nice. They say he's more joyful because that's a big part of what I'm trying to create is just this deeper level of joy in one's own life and with your partner, doing joyful things and very and playful things. People forget or don't even realize that going into this connection with your partner, it is about playfulness. It's about being playful, and that's the fun part. That's the part that makes it intriguing and it keeps you both alive in your bodies and in how you come together. And so I'm really really happy to hear that. It's a 6 week program, so he went through the 6 week program, and what would you say surprised you the most about his journey through the program? Maybe it's something with it between you or something within him. Is there something that stood out for you that happened
Mhm.
within your relationship or
The most surprising thing I think is that we've become a lot more synchronized in how we think. It's almost like before I felt we were kind of different kind of people trying to meet each other where we're at. And so strangely, I feel like we are starting to blend. Like he's a lot more like me than he was before the program, and I'm a lot more like him. I know that sounds very weird, but it's like we have a more synchron, not, I don't know what the word is, but it's just, it's odd. It's odd because I never really thought he would get a lot of the things that I understood, but now he's like really getting it. He'll bring it up to me and I'll be like, that's something I would say. That's something I would do. What? So yeah,
So it
that's
sounds like some more presence, even like a deeper level of presence with each other, so that you can really see and understand the other person. And I think synchronizing is a nice word to put it with. Like you're playing off each other. I mean, I'm working with the masculine, the feminine energy, right? So it's the yin and the yang, and when they are synchronized, they actually come together really nicely, and they play off of each other. So maybe that's kind of what you're feeling, that connection, that circular connection of the yin and the masculine and feminine.
yeah, for sure.
Right. And how would you say, since after the program, how has your intimate and sexual life improved or how has it changed?
I think back to the whole playfulness part of it, of not being ashamed, not being feeling judged, just being open and like raw with who we are. I definitely have noticed I mean, we're just, I would say a next level for sure, but even more than like a next level of like sex life, I just think when me and him are together in it, like an intimate way, there's not this shame that used to be there with
Hmm.
me or with him. Like I feel like I'm more inhibited. What is the word? What's
Inhibited.
inhibited?
Inhibited?
Like, yeah,
Uninhibited. Uninhibited. Yeah.
uninhibited. Yeah, I feel a lot more uninhibited, and he feels a lot more uninhibited. It's just
Nice.
there's just nothing to really hide there.
Hmm. Hmm.
That has definitely opened up everything for us, and there's a lot more satisfaction. There's a lot more depth. I mean, I could actually kind of go on with this, but I deepening like of pleasure, of exploration, uh frequency even. I mean, more desires desire is there. And I've actually found myself with him noticing like, wow, you are really handsome. Like he has a different aura about him now after working with you. Like I literally look at him and I'm like, he is very cute. I mean, he's a very cute guy. I always thought he was cute and handsome, but now it's like I can almost feel a magnetic pull towards him. Like I actually can, when I see him from like washing dishes and I'm looking at him, I'm like, yeah, that's a hunk. He's got a hunky. He holds himself differently now. Yeah, Leanna, you did something.
So beautiful. Um, okay, so that's awesome. Let's see here. I wanted to ask you some more things. What would you say to women who feel her partner has lost his spark and or confidence now that he's gone through that? You've gone through it together, and
Mm.
now he's left with all this information, and you're off on a journey. But what would you say to women who are, yeah, whose partners have lost their spark and confidence? And yeah, what would be your advice here?
For that woman, I would say don't don't come at don't come at your man from a stance of what he's bringing or not bringing to you. Don't come at it from that. Come at it from you care about your man. You want him to feel alive. You want him to feel confident and strong in his manhood and vital in whatever he's doing. And if you come at it from that perspective of what's best for him, not what's best for me or us, just purely what is best for him, amazing things will happen and you'll get whatever you're seeking in return. But make it about him because that's when a man, like if he feels that you really care about his happiness, his growth, one, he's going to want to give that back to you, but two, he's going to be able to see more clearly the benefit of your program, like the Leanna's program. He's going to see that clearly for himself because he feels supported. He feels like he has a partner that wants him to have the best life that he possibly can. And so that would be my advice, just take the focus off yourself and know that things will be better in whatever ways you want them to be, as long as you make his happiness and fulfillment a priority.
Beautiful. And what would you say to men who are looking at this as a possibility and sitting on the fence about it
Oh,
as a woman?
fence sitters. Let me tell you something about fence sitters. You feel it in your gut. You feel resonance. You feel attracted to this program. There's something nudging you to do it. And you need to trust that. That's your first step in transformation of stepping into your masculine power is trusting yourself, trusting your gut. There's a reason you keep watching Leanna's videos or noticing her marketing. There's a reason that your eye is being caught by it. It's because there's something in you that doesn't feel fully ignited, fully fulfilled, and this program is offering you that. And it's in your best interest to do it. So just do it. Have fun. Don't take it so seriously. Life's not going to end, right? If you invest the money, like do it and just be amazed by what happens because I've seen it. My guy tells me all the time, I feel empowered now. He tells me all the time. He literally told me, Leanna, you need to tell Leanna I feel empowered. And I was like, okay. So I'm certain you're going to feel empowered if you do it.
Thank you. That's awesome. That is beautiful. Guys, listen to Laura. She knows what she's talking about here. She's the woman with the first-hand experience. And Laura herself is doing a lot of amazing transformational work with women. And I just love to hear a little bit about what you're doing, Laura, because I think, yeah, it's incredible what you're putting out there.
Sure. Here's how I approach the healing work that I do with women. We all come from a history of trauma, micro trauma, macro trauma, whatever trauma, and that has an impact on us. That shapes the way our brains are wired, it shapes the way our brains function. And unfortunately, if you're anything like me, you've been through a lot of trauma and financial trauma, let's just say a lot of trauma. If you're someone who's been through that, there's a lot of rewiring that has to be done because trauma creates a lot of limitations, a lot of constrictions. And if you're someone who wants to fulfill all that she can in this life, have a thriving business, have an amazing love life, having great relationships with family, friends, colleagues, perspectives, whatever, you need to rewire. You need to heal any of those limiting connections that have been made because of your past. And that's what I work with women on. So we deeply rewire the subconscious mind. And we also do that through embodiment practices. And it can, again, when we unleash ourselves from these constrictions that we've created through our past experiences, we're able to thrive, we're able to flourish, we're able to fulfill ourselves in all ways. So yeah, that's the kind of work I do. I do subconscious reprogramming, past life regressions, a lot of different kind of energy techniques, whatever best suits someone's situation. That's what I employ, along with my counseling skills that I gained being trained as a counselor. But it's a multidisciplinary approach that just gets at the root cause of any like issues or concerns someone's having.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful work, and really important. I mean, I'm focused on helping men right now, and it's important for men to take those steps in a relationship, but it's also important for women to do their own healing. As a couple, I have this kind of formula, which is me, you, us, right? It's simple, very simple, but it's really important for each of you individually to dive in deeper and figure out what's going on with you and tap into that that authenticity that's sitting there and releasing old beliefs and traumas like Laura was saying. And then you come together, you can create the S in a much stronger manner because you've already done a lot of healing for yourselves individually. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if a woman also finds herself in the situation where she wants her man to be more like sexually charged and all of that, or feel empowered in himself, I say work on yourself because it's a reflection.
Hmm.
If I hadn't done the work on myself to be to the point where I was aware he was struggling with this, I wouldn't have ever even seen it or offered it to him. So let's work on what's in our locus of control, which is ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
First and foremost, all good things come
Yeah.
from that. So thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your intimate experience. I really, really appreciate it. I'm really passionate about Empower. And if this has inspired any of you out there, then go to the description below. There's a link to apply for Empower. There's going to be information about Laura as well, so you can access her information. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, Laura. We'll
Oh,
be in
my
touch, I'm
pleasure.
sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.